There's a voice inside you that you've ignored for far too long. It doesn't whisper, it roars. But the world has taught you to silence it, to bury it beneath doubt, distraction, and delay. It is the voice of dominion, of clarity, of purpose, of the part of you that was never meant to beg for permission, but to command destiny. Think like a king, act like a warrior. This is not just a quote, it's a way of life. It's a philosophy etched into the bones of every man and woman who ever defied odds, bent reality, and rose from nothing to empire. It is the mindset of Carnegie building an industrial empire from the ashes of poverty. The relentlessness of Lincoln rising from obscurity to immortality. The obsession of Thomas Edison failing 1,000 times just to make light obey him. It's not fiction. It's not theory. It's the truth. And it starts in the mind. Everything begins in the mind. Before steel was forged, before empires rose, before fortunes were built, there was an idea. And more than that, there was belief. Not the flimsy kind, not hope, not wishing. Belief that burns, belief that blinds fear, belief that doesn't ask for evidence. It creates it. When Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve," he wasn't offering inspiration. He was delivering a law, a spiritual law, a psychological law, a universal law. But today, most people walk around like prisoners of circumstance. They live in cages built by fear, distraction, and doubt. Cages they built themselves. You were not born to be average. You were not born to scroll, to envy, to wait. You were born to dominate, to lead, to execute. But you must think like a king, ruthless in vision, unapologetic in desire, and act like a warrior, disciplined, relentless, unstoppable. Let's get one thing straight. A king is not just someone with a crown. A king is someone who sees the world as clay, and he molds it one decision at a time. His throne isn't inherited, it's built. His power doesn't come from birth, it comes from belief, vision, and execution. And the warrior? The warrior is the enforcer of that vision. Where the king dreams, the warrior does. Where the king plans, the warrior bleeds. The warrior doesn't wait for perfect timing. He creates it. He doesn't fear the battlefield. He becomes it. That's the union you need. That's the formula for transformation. Think like a king. Act like a warrior. But let's talk about clarity, because without it, even a king is lost. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack direction. You cannot hit a target you refuse to define. The mind will chase anything you give it, distractions, drama, shiny illusions, but you must command it toward a single burning desire. Hill called it definiteness of purpose. It is the seed of greatness. The moment you decide, truly decide, that your life is meant for something greater, you change everything. You change the questions you ask, the actions you take, the people you allow into your space. You stop tolerating anything that doesn't align with the empire you're building. The world will try to sell you comfort, and comfort will rob you blind. It will whisper sweet lies in your ear. You're doing enough. You've earned a break. You're not like them. But comfort is a liar. Purpose is a kingmaker. It sharpens your mind and sets fire to your soul. And once you have that clarity, once your vision is no longer negotiable, you must take command of your inner world. You must guard your thoughts like a king guards his gates. Your thoughts are seeds. What you allow to root will grow, and what grows will either build you or bury you. So flood your mind with power, with vision, with strategy. Speak to yourself as if you're already what you intend to become. not delusion, dominion. Because what you speak, you shape. What you repeat, you believe. And what you believe becomes your world. Then comes discipline. Discipline is the sword of the warrior. It is not punishment. It is power. It is freedom. Discipline is saying yes to the vision and no to the moment. It is trading comfort for clarity, impulse for impact. The warrior wakes before the world does. He trains while others sleep. He builds while others talk. And he keeps going long after the excitement dies. Discipline is not something you do, it's something you are. And here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. You won't always feel like it. You will want to quit. You will be laughed at, doubted, betrayed, even by those closest to you. You will feel alone, but so did every king before you. So did every warrior on his path to greatness. Because kings don't run, warriors don't retreat. And if you're going to build the life you came here to build, you must stop negotiating with weakness. You must stop flirting with potential. You must decide. Now that you've decided, truly decided, you're no longer the same. You've crossed a line most never do. The line between wishing and willing. Between waiting and becoming. And once you cross it, there's no turning back. You start seeing the world differently. Every obstacle becomes a signal. Every setback, a lesson. Every challenge, a doorway into skies. Because the warrior doesn't pray for easy battles. He sharpens his blade and walks into the storm. You stop chasing shortcuts because you understand now. Success isn't found in hacks or luck. It's found in the hours no one sees, in the sacrifices no one applauds, in the 1,000 silent decisions you make when your body is tired and your mind is screaming for comfort. You win when you learn to do what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." And he was right. Because the battle is always in the mind first. That's where wars are won or lost. Long before the world sees your results, the war was waged inside of you. And that's why belief isn't optional, it's essential. Without belief, your vision starves. Without belief, your actions weaken. Without belief, your empire dies in your imagination. But belief, true belief, isn't passive. It's earned. It's built brick by brick through action. Every time you show up, you lay a stone. Every time you refuse to quit, you forge steel. Every time you push beyond yesterday, you become someone the old version of you wouldn't recognize. That's the transformation. You don't get confidence. You build it. You don't find strength. You forge it. You don't stumble into purpose. You fight for it, day after day, moment after moment. And here's the truth. You will be tested. Your patience will be tested. Your focus will be tested. Your hunger, your vision, your belief, all of it will be tested. Because the world does not give crowns to the unproven. You must earn it in silence, in sweat, in solitude. While others are partying, you are planning. While they sleep, you rise. While they consume, you create. The price of greatness is paid in full, daily. But it's not just about working hard. Anyone can burn themselves out chasing shiny objects. The king doesn't chase, he builds. With intention, with clarity, with order. You must become a student of your vision. Study the path, learn the laws, understand the principles of wealth, mindset, influence, and energy. This world is governed by patterns, and those who learn them rule them. Carnegie knew this. He surrounded himself with masterminds, people who expanded his mind and elevated his thinking. Disney knew this. He studied every detail of experience, psychology, and wonder. Napoleon Hill himself sat with giants to understand how the few become unstoppable. serious, truly serious, about mastering your life, you must become addicted to learning. Not learning for information, learning for transformation. Read with purpose, study with fire. Surround yourself with minds sharper than yours. Trade entertainment for education. Trade distraction for obsession. Feed the king, train the warrior. And as you grow in knowledge, you must also grow in adaptability. The world doesn't care how talented you are if you cannot adjust. Kings must pivot. Warriors must evolve. You will face setbacks you never expected. You will lose things you thought you needed. But here's what separates the great from the forgotten. The great adjust. The great adapt. The great rebuild stronger. There is no path without pain. There is no climb without storms. But if you have vision like a king and resolve like a warrior, nothing can break you. You'll face moments where your faith wavers, where the dream seems far and the struggle feels endless. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But it is. Because while the masses sleep in comfort, you will rise in power. While they envy success, you will embody it. While they pray for miracles, you will become one. And when your time comes, and it will come, when the doors open, when the recognition arrives, when the world finally sees the power you've been forging in silence, you will not be surprised. You will not feel lucky. You will feel ready. Because you built this. You bled for this. You became this.